A girl saw a hooligan harassing a female passenger on the bus. She glared at him, but he continued and turned to taunt her. The next second, hooligan was in trouble. No finger was bent. The girl who taught her a lesson was named Xiaomei. She was born strong, but the doctor remarked that she wasn't attractive. Xiaomei knocked the doctor down with a punch as soon as he spoke. As a child, she and her brother were kidnapped by a criminal. Her brother was terrified, crying loudly and wounding himself. She urgently asked the man to stop the car, but he ignored her, prompting her to kick the door and jump out. When the man stopped the car in an emergency, she grabbed her brother and ran. But how could a child outrun an adult? She was strong enough to push the man over 80 meters. Realizing the danger, the man tried to kill him, prompting the sister to quickly push her brother away. Then she adjusted her breathing, and at the critical moment, she extended her golden right hand. She stopped the car at 250 km/h with one hand. She was like Superman, but this power distressed Xiaomei. In school, she wanted to practice on the horizontal bar, but it twisted before she could exert herself. After class, she washed her hands in the cafeteria and coincidentally saw her male idol. She was so excited that she broke the faucet. During holiday, she visited a popular tourist spot in. The tour guide said that the huge rock behind weighed hundreds of tons and had not moved for thousands of years. She touched the huge rock and was instantly pushed off the cliff. To regain her normality, she climbed the mountain to ask Buddha to remove her divine power. When she opened her eyes, she saw the Buddha laughing at her. The harm was minor, but the insult was significant. She punished Buddha in anger. After that, Xiaomei asked him to reflect on his mistakes while facing the wall. She feared that scientists would find and arrest her for her experiments, which is why she rejected power. To avoid revealing her power, Xiaomei chose to farm in her hometown. Her driving skills were poor, and she accidentally drove the tractor into a ditch. Desperate, she lifted the tractor with one hand, stunning the old cow beside her. Other animals were frightened and ran for their lives. Additionally, someone witnessed this scene and could no longer stay in the countryside. The next day, she moved to a big city. Things didn't go as she wished. She encountered a situation that she had to help. A scarred man bullied a school bus driver, and she tried to call police. Before she could finish, the construction site contractor intervened and smashed her phone. At this time, the contractor didn't know that he had run into trouble. It was a big deal. Xiaomei clenched her fists and tried to suppress her anger. The stubborn contractor challenged her to rock, paper, scissors, resulting in Xiaomei losing his 2 front teeth. He was thrown onto the construction site. The second and third children couldn't sit still after being bullied by the boss. They rushed forward, but soon wailed in pain as their feet were stepped on and they couldn't move. The cracked cement floor shows Xiaomei's strength. She knocked them into the sand pile at the construction site with a single palm strike. The scarred taxi driver heard the noise and saw the scene. He was shocked. Xiaomei offered her phone, but the contractor told him to be quiet. He responded with curses and violence. Xiaomei, realizing her strength, broke the scarred man's fingers one by one. It was painful to watch. An accomplice sought to exploit the chance to attack her. Xiaomei grabbed his belt and propelled him into the air like a rocket, allowing the other party to feel the sensation of flying. The scarred man refused to surrender and tried to fight back, but Xiaomei's palm sent him flying 80 meters away. The worst was the contractor got up and collided with the scarred man, leaving only one of his white teeth. Their fight shocked the school bus children and was clearly seen by passerby Awei. He couldn't believe his eyes and thought he had met the legendary Superwoman. After arriving at the police station, the other party actually complained that Xiaomei had beaten them, but no one could believe that a girl could hurt a group of strong men. Finally, with Awei's proof, Xiaomei was acquitted on the spot, and her life changed because of this. Awei is an overbearing president who admires Xiaomei's powers. Recently, a mysterious figure has been following him, prompting him to urgently seek a bodyguard, so he instructed his assistant to find Xiaomei. Being a bodyguard is dangerous. Xiaomei initially declined the invitation, but when the assistant mentioned a 60 million annual salary, she quickly changed her mind. Before joining the company, she had to pass a strength test by participating in a cockfight with a Navy assistant. The assistant said it was bad, but he got excited when a sports car was placed on the ground. Xiaomei paused. He wanted a helmet, but preferred his assistant to wear it instead. The assistant misjudged Xiaomei's strength as an insult. Once everything was set, he charged at her with bared teeth and claws. Xiaomei lifted her foot slightly, and he was instantly bounced back. The game ended as it began. The assistant was rushed to the hospital with a broken neck and fractured spine. Without a helmet, he would have died. After the battle, Xiaomei officially started her job. However, she soon met an angry female driver. She just honked and was scolded by the man. Fortunately, 2 people stepped forward to stop her. After hearing that Awei said he would call the police, the man left in disgrace. But before leaving, he couldn't help but scold in a few words. The woman's strength was so terrible that she just gently threw the man and the car together and started to spin wildly in the same place. Such a strong force made the boss Awe stunned. The man's intestines must have turned green. Both the man and the car were spinning. After 30,000 laps, Xiaomei and Awe drove away, leaving the man to watch the scrapped car in regret. Xiaomei aimed to catch the man following Awe. In the park, they spotted the suspicious person, but he escaped on a motorcycle. They captured the license plate photo. After investigating, they located the owner's address. Xiaomei posed as a new neighbor to chat with the man, but he ignored her. Before she finished, the man tried to close the door and send him away. Luckily, she was strong, and the man didn't budge despite his efforts to pull the door. Desperate, he let her in. Xiaomei asked if the license plate was his, and he admitted it without hesitation. Xiaomei intended to take him to the police station, but he was reluctant and suddenly smirked. Seizing the chance to tease her, Xiaomei casually slapped him, but her strength knocked him unconscious with one hand. After dragging the man out Awe, who was outside the door, thought he had beaten him to death. He was so frightened that he didn't know what to do. He was about to drive, but the neighbor returned. They had to take the elevator to the rooftop. To prevent him from struggling, they tied his hands and feet. After a long wait, he finally woke up. He claimed his new motorcycle was stolen before he finished paying for it. Eventually, it was revealed that he was also a victim. Xiaomei felt guilty. Her troubles were not over. The people she had injured were the local gangster boss's crew. Furious after learning everything, he summoned killers to directly kill Xiaomei and vent his anger for his sin. The bus made a flat tire. The driver accelerated, but couldn't stop, nearly hitting a mother and daughter. In a critical moment, a woman stepped in, gripping the trailer hook tightly to stop the car herself. A man attempted to stop the car, but at the last moment, the car flattened her. After the crisis, the woman hid in the apartment. The deep handles on the hook proved her strength exceeded that of ordinary people. It was unfortunate that Xiaomei's new shoes had worn soles. She was born strong. She only used fingers to eat walnuts and squeezed apples by hand for juice. It was clean and fresh. The most exaggerated thing is that she can flick teeth with one hand. I guess even Uncle Ma, who can pull teeth with his bare hand, would be impressed. She seldom uses her magical powers, fearing capture by scientists or experiments if discovered. Unless she meets a bad guy, she is intolerable. That night, she went out to eat spicy hot pot with her bestie. On the way, she saw a group of school bullies bullying her classmates. She hated bullying the weak the most. Then, the school bully kicked her. Xiaomei remained calm. She calmly bent down to help the bully tie his shoelaces, then unexpectedly exerted force. Grabbed the shoes and gently pulled them. The cowhide on the surface was torn. The school bully ran up, and the shoes he bought were torn by him with his bare hands. The intense momentum frightened everyone away. He then wrote his phone number on the boy's phone and warned the bullies that if they bullied the boy again, he would be first to die. Break your dog legs and then your little brother. I thought the matter was over, but the next day the bully brought his elder brother to the fight again. The elder brother bluntly told her to pay for new shoes. I believe you're looking for trouble. Upon hearing this, the elder brother grabbed his bag, which was empty. Angered, he took the wallet and smashed it on her head. The Xiaomei didn't want to fight back for fear of killing him. But the elder brother was getting more and more aggressive. The man's golden right hand was instantly severed. Xiaomei then lifted him into the air with one hand. The sudden operations frightened all his friends. Xiaomei knocked the elder brother to the ground like Xiao Zhizai. Then he asked all his friends to get on the turntable. The hero immediately stood on it obediently. Today, I will let you go sightseeing in Hong Kong. In the middle of the way, Xiaomei suddenly kicked everyone, and everyone flew out. Now the school bullies finally realized their mistakes. They rolled and crawled on the ground and knelt on the ground and laughed and recognized Xiaomei as the boss. At this time, a basketball was kicked over. Seeing the other party's arrogant look, Xiaomei kicked the basketball directly. Xiaomei's power not only frightened the bad guys, but even her boss Awe was worried that he would be accidentally injured by her power, because when the two of them went to do business before, she almost killed an innocent person with an unconscious wave of her hand. So Awe decided to take Xiaomei to do some training. Only if she learns to control her strength, but she can be a qualified bodyguard. Awe realized that the training tools were easy for Xiaomei and often accidentally broke the tools. So Awe planned to let her practice controlling the strength of her fingers. Flicking chess pieces seems simple and safe, but it is extremely dangerous for Xiaomei. Xiaomei's flags fly like bullets, highly lethal. Desperate, Awe used her superpowers to offer Xiaomei a reward of 500,000 won for success. Tempted by money, Xiaomei easily obtained 500,000 won. However, in her excitement, she cried and smashed the chessboard. The two wanted to relax with the drone, but a gunshot suddenly brought it down. Awe noticed the problem and quickly hid Xiaomei under a fruit. The gunman was sent by his enemy. Luckily, he had the protagonist's luck, and the bullet only grazed his arm. However, they didn't anticipate the major troubles they would face at the hospital for treatment. Previously, Xiaoyi harmed a group of villains at the construction site. Now, one of them cries in fear upon seeing her. Their boss is a bad person. To avenge his men, he summoned many killers. The worker was crushed by the water tank. Just when everyone came to rescue, an incredible scene happened. 10 tons of water tanks were crushed. The heavy water tank was lifted by hand, leaving the distant workers stunned. Zhao Mei set down the tank and answered a phone call. The local gangster boss fight to the death, showing the bad guys how many eyes the Horse King has. She arrived alone at the agreed abandoned warehouse. The gangster boss shamelessly relied on his numbers. He asked Zhao Mei to kneel down and admit her mistakes. He called her brother. After that, Zhao Mei took out 2 walnuts and squeaked them twice in her hands. She squeezed the walnuts, turning them powder instantly. Everyone was nervous, but as the toughest gangsters around, they couldn't be defeated by a woman. At the boss's command, 3 fierce generals led the attack. Zhao Mei punched one, and they all slapped him, leaving the 2 unable to resist. He casually threw them to the side. Following closely behind was a group of professional thugs. But this time, Zhao Mei recalling the fighting skills that Awe taught her a few days ago, Zhao Mei easily dodged the attack with reflected body, and then used a set of combos to beat the opponent so hard that he cried for his parents. Seeing Zhao Mei's strong fighting ability, the boss ordered everyone to attack together, in the face of absolute strength. No matter how many people they have, they can only give themselves up. Fortunately, Zhao Mei learned to control her strength. Otherwise, they would have fallen like horses. With the last man flipping and landing, the second round ended. When it was the turn of the 4 kings, they chose to suppress them with strength. Little did they know that Xiao Mei was born with supernatural power, and easily lifted them up. The 4 kings were pushed over 80 meters, and newly. At that moment, their boss Awe arrived with friends to help. It appeared Xiao Mei was the one in need of support. The assistant of the boss was at a loss, and could only bite the bullet. Show Wei Chun. If Xiao Mei had not shown mercy, her golden right hand would have been useless. In the end, Zhao Mei and the boss were left at the scene. She was on pins and needles, with no way out. Her fists shook as a little brother emerged from the darkness, charging at Zhao Mei with a 40-meter sword. Awe blocked the knife for Xiao Mei, and her friend quickly took down the attacker. Zhao Mei cried when she saw Awe seriously injured. Luckily, the wound was shallow, and his life was safe. Zhao Mei had no way to repay Awe for saving his life. At the end of the film, Xiao Mei married the billionaire with tears in her eyes. They had twins, and the gangsters turned from evil to babysitters for the kids. The children clearly inherited Xiao Mei's supernatural powers.